especially the big question, why would a church want to consider creating a planned giving ministry?
That is a great question. I think maybe my favorite question to begin with, actually. And I want to start first before we move into that question, Joe, by answering the question, what is a planned gift?
Mhm.
When I went to seminary at age 23, I had $942. I'm actually not lying about that. And picked up, moved from Wichita to Kansas City, and I had no idea what planned giving was. So if you don't know what planned giving is, that's okay. Planned giving is typically understood as a gift that a person sets aside through their estate. Most often, a planned gift will come to your church upon the death of the donor or upon the death of the donor's partner. And usually, those gifts can come as a bequest from a will or a trust. They can come through a life insurance policy designation. They can come through a 401k, an IRA. They can come through real estate proceeds or perhaps appreciated assets. Um, as Joe mentioned, giving is an act of discipleship, and there are really three ways that people can give: one, through their annual ministry fund gift; two, through capital improvement, capital campaign generosity; and three, through planned giving. I've had the opportunity to serve in churches that are about 100 members all the way up to 25,000 members. The church I'm serving now is a big Steeple City church. We have about 450 in worship right now on a weekly basis. So I've been in big and small. And in big and small, I might wonder, do I have time to worry about planned giving? I'm already working on our annual fund. I'm working on our capital campaign. I may not have time, but I actually am here to advocate that you absolutely have time. And there's a reason why, and that's because it is discipleship. There's really two aspects, Joe, in my opinion, on why plan giving matters. And the first is that it gives your donor, it gives your church member the opportunity to create a discipleship impact. I mean, they have the opportunity through plan giving to answer the question. This is my favorite question in the entire world: is how can I help God transform God's world through a planned?
Our parish or church prioritize planned giving. Planned giving is an incredible opportunity to join God in what God is already doing by inviting donors to consider, how can I help God transform God's world through a planned gift to my church? How can intentional planned giving ministry impact donors? Discipleship impact. Donors can give back to God a portion, perhaps a tithe or child share, of all that God has given to them. A donor's planned gift may even be their very first opportunity to fulfill a tithe to God. Ministry impact. Donors can align their generosity with particular areas of ministry important to them. Impact funds within the church, such as missions or discipleship. Generational impact. Donors can model extraordinary generosity for their children, grandchildren, church friends, and
They
beloveds.
can model for their family members what it means to be generous, and they can model for church members what it means to be generous, and it can create a congregational impact. And this is really important to consider. Joe Swimmer already mentioned this. The greatest wealth transfer is happening right now. Here in Kansas, in the next 20 years, we are anticipating a transfer of wealth of $300 billion. Of that $300 billion, we're assuming that $12.5 billion will be given to charities. And so if churches are simply asking, they can be a part of receiving approximately $2.9 billion based off of that 23% generosity marker that we see in our communities right now. That's really, it's a discipleship impact. It's an impact on the donors' lives, an offering that they get to make, and then it can create an incredible congregational impact because you would have resources to continue to steward on behalf of those families.